Hi folks, Vitaly here from HelpingHandAffiliate.com. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the subject of evergreen keywords and how to rank on Google's first page for those keywords. Now, if you don't know what evergreen keywords are, they're just basically popular keywords that people always look up on Google, on YouTube, on other types of search engines today, tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, years from now. They're things that are going to always be popular. Think of niche subjects like how to lose weight fast or mountain bikes or things like that. Those are all evergreen niches because they're always going to be popular. And in every single evergreen niche that exists, there's always going to be people that look up very basic keywords on Google that are associated with that. So for example, how to lose weight without dieting. That's something that people have always been Googling for as long as I can remember. The best flashlights for camping is probably also a very evergreen keyword. How to get an X-Back. That's probably also a very evergreen keyword and will continue to be that. These are all examples of popular evergreen keywords that people will always type into Google versus something like, I have a flashlight in my hand, so I don't know what the name of this flashlight is, but let's say that it has a specific name, flashlight A. People can look up this thing and maybe it's popular for a few months and then it kind of falls out of popularity, and then flashlight B comes along and that's going to be popular for another few months, then C, then D, then so on and so forth. So those types of keywords are things that kind of come and go. And so the reason that evergreen keywords are very important is because potentially if you can rank on the first page of Google for even a single evergreen keyword that is popular, you can get a lot of traffic, you can get a lot of potential money from that, and you can make that for a long time to come because evergreen is always going to be popular, and so ranking on the first page of Google gets you that traffic, gets you those visitors, gets you that money. And for reference, let me show you a screenshot that I took from Google Search Console for one of my websites. This is just page one of many first page keywords that I rank on. Some of which are evergreen. Anything that's basically 10 and up, anywhere 1 from 10 basically, is first position. So 3.2 is the third spot, first spot, somewhere in the middle, first spot. And it shows me how many clicks I get, and impressions means how many times the keyword has been looked up. This one's over 80,000. So I have some examples, but I'm keeping that information private about which specific keyword I rank for that's evergreen. But the point I'm trying to make is that I do have a lot of experience in this subject. And so what I want to briefly talk about is how to actually get ranked on the first page of Google for a single or multiple evergreen keywords. Now for specifics, I do have a website that I will be linking to underneath this particular YouTube video. It'll take you to this one, it'll get into more details, but I want to give you a preview of what that takes, because evergreen keywords are generally very competitive to rank for on the first page, because you're not going to be the only person that's going to be trying to get that first page, first spot position on Google for the keyword. Like for example, how to get an X-Back. I imagine there's millions, tens of millions of other websites trying to rank for that exact same keyword. And so how do you actually beat those websites? Well, there's a couple of things. First off, you have to understand that this is not something that happens quickly. If you want to rank organically for an evergreen keyword, you need to get a lot of time for your website to grow authority. And for a website to grow authority, it needs about a year's time. Let's say you're running a blog on how to get your X-Back. That's going to basically be a year's time before it can actually start to get good rankings. For about the first 6 months, a website is going to go through a Google sandbox. It's not going to rank too well. And then after the 6 months, it's going to rank pretty well. But in addition to that, there's also a chain, which means you can't just focus on one particular thing, like waiting a year for your website to rank for that to happen. That's not going to be enough. What you also need to do is create a lot of blog content on different keywords, not necessarily evergreen. They could be evergreen. Some of them could be product reviews, and just write as much content as you can on different kinds of articles, and each of those articles targets other keywords, specifically low competition keywords, because on low competition keywords you can rank high on Google much faster than you would for an evergreen keyword. And what will happen after that is then you have the next layer, which is you try to rank for the evergreen keyword, and it's not going to happen overnight. And then what happens is those other not mini articles, but those articles that target low competition keywords, you internally link to your article that's trying to rank for the evergreen keyword, and that is how you do it. And that's going to send it that SEO juice and help it climb up, plus mixed in with the time. So for example, let's say that I'm trying to rank for a keyword such as how to let's say I have a camping website and I'm trying to rank for a keyword like the best camping tents for or something. The best camping tents. That's an evergreen keyword. Okay, so I have a niche website that's focused on camping gear. Then I write little articles, not little articles, but articles targeting low competition keywords. Let's say I review a specific tent that's popular. That's one article. I review another specific tent. I give a review of it. That's another article. I talk about the top flashlights for camping. That's another article. And I write as many articles as possible. You should aim for at least 100 for within 1 year's time. And then I try to rank for the main keyword, which is like best tents for camping. That's a tough keyword to rank for. And so what will happen is those little articles that I was just explaining that target low competition keywords, I will link them to that one, so people that visit those those other articles that have low competition keywords in them, the link juice is going to take them to the other article, and Google is going to help rank and push that other article higher. That's generally the way it works. It's not a guarantee, but it's one of the best ways to go. Another thing that you can do is you can create YouTube videos and about the same subjects that you're creating articles on, and link them back to your blog, and that also sends SEO juice to that article. So for example, you can literally make a video on the best tents for camping as a YouTube video and then link it back to the same blog post that targets that exact same keyword. That'll also send it link juice and help it climb up the rankings. And it takes time, it's not easy, but it's worth it because that's where all the big traffic comes from. And that's not just for this keyword that I gave you an example of. It's pretty much for any keyword that you want to rank for. And another thing to note is that as your website, for instance, gets bigger and bigger and bigger with traffic and authority and all that sort of stuff, it's going to make it much more easier for it to rank for evergreen keywords and other keywords down the line. Usually you'll have to wait maybe a month or two, maybe a few months when you first get started with your website to rank for any kind of keyword. But after that period, it's going to get easier and easier, and maybe within a few weeks' time it'll rank on the first page. Then within a few days' time, maybe within a few hours' time, as long as the website keeps building up with good content, chasing low competition keywords, not just evergreen keywords, but a mix of those things, it'll keep climbing, it'll keep going further, and that'll help you rank for evergreen keywords in general. And so for details on all of that, there's a link below this YouTube video that'll take you to the page that I was explaining a while back, but it'll get into more details about that subject. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions on it, you're more than welcome to ask me. Have a good one.